do you mind me asking like how old you guys are?
Yeah, no, Luca's 36 and I'm 30.
Okay. Oh, you're 30. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know you were my age.
What?
I'm 32.
Wait,
I mean, 30 as well.
Tell me how old you thought I was. I'm so excited.
Well, I just knew that Luke was older, so I thought you were just more that age.
Yes.
But and you're just like so mature, and you like are a freaking doctor, and so it's like, oh, she must be older than me. So
I'll take the compliment because I
well,
get the other
well
end of the
now I
spectrum
feel like
very
I
often.
should be accomplishing more. And more. Yay, another interview. We're here with Stacey Zimmerman. She is actually, you're probably like the first interview I've done where I don't really know the person. Like we've hung out a couple times, but she's actually a friend of my brother's, and he's the one who introduced us.
Even kind of like two steps, like your brother is friends with my husband.
True,
and by
yes.
extension, friend with your brother.
Yeah, so we don't know each other at all. I am going to let her give us a little intro about who she is, what she does, and a little bit about her family, and we'll just start there. So
I always give the background that my name, if you ever see it written, is going to be different than any first name of Stacey that you ever see. It's spelled Stessie, which you'll never find unless you're in France or something. That's because my parents are from Haiti.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was wondering like where they got that spelling from. So it's a French spelling of Stacey.
It's more like a Haitian Creole influence on the name. So,
but is it said Stacey?
It's pronounced Stacey.
Okay,
Yep,
okay,
yeah.
got it.
So that's both my parents are immigrants from Haiti. They immigrated to the U.S., had all of their kids. I'm one of 6, so it's a party.
Whoa.
And I mentioned this because like my heritage, who my parents are, influenced so much about who I am, and also what I do. So growing up, my mom went back to nursing school after she had 6 kids.
Oh my gosh.
It's like nuts to think about right now when I have 1 child. But I got to sit there and watch her while she was doing that. And so early on when I was in 2nd grade, I was like, I want to be a doctor.
Since 2nd grade?
Since 2nd grade.
Oh my gosh.
Watching my mom study physiology, and I was like, that's way cooler than learning about these plants for me. I know other people have their interests.
Yeah.
So right now, I just finished fellowship in Philadelphia as a pediatric sports medicine doctor. And I currently practice a lot of emergent and urgent care for pediatric patients. My husband and I met 6 years ago. We've been married for 5.
Okay.
We met on Tinder.
Okay,
Yeah. So
yes.
we are one of those swipe yes,
Yes.
swipe no couples. Dated long distance and got married like a year and a half after we met. A sweet little girl who just turned 2.
Thanks for the intro, and we're gonna dive into our first part of this video where I like to do rapid fire, don't be a liar.
Bring them fast, here we go.
And actually it ends up not being super rapid fire, it's just like some name I came up with. Okay, what does cooking look like in your family? Who does the cooking? What's that about?
I would say a 50-50 split.
Okay.
Luke loves to cook. I enjoy cooking, but Luke loves to cook.
Okay.
So if I'm working, he's cooking.
Okay.
If I'm not working, I cook.
Okay,
for the most
cool.
part.
What do you do during nap time? When she's napping, what do you do?
90% of the time I nap, but I also do a lot of research, nerdy work sometimes. When she's
Okay,
napping.
so it's either like worky stuff or napping because you work late.
Yes, or television. That's like, that is sprinkled in there.
Yes, that would probably be my number 1. But yep, TV is always a good option. It's like half restful, like you're not sleeping, but you're not doing anything else, so it's good. What is your bedtime routine and what is your morning routine? And you kind of have a different one because your hours are different than most moms.
Yeah. So I would put the caveat, if I'm working, then that means I'm usually coming home late at night, so sometime between midnight and 3 in the morning. And I usually need to come down and wind down because work, I'm like lights on, cooking.
Yeah.
So I come home, usually trying to limit this, but pack a snack, tea, chill out, read something. 50% of the time, my husband gets up when I get home.
Oh, really?
Which we're really trying to break that habit, but I secretly love it.
That's cute though,
Yeah.
and that's so hard because I'm sure you guys are just always like missing each other.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I think a good way to wind down too is to just like let it all out.
yeah, we just like debrief our days and then turn in for the night. Morning routine. I don't have an alarm. Ever. Stella wakes up and she hollers from
you're
over
still
there.
in that mode. That's
Yeah.
the best time is
It's
when
so nice.
well, if they sleep in, because your little girl sleeps in.
She sleeps in, yeah. She sleeps in till usually about 8:30 and 9. So
Yes,
I
that's
hear
the
the
best.
Mom, I'm hungry, and then I but she's never crying. She's very polite about it, so that's good.
Yeah, that's the best though. That's been my like biggest sadness with kids starting school, is that we have to wake up and go to school and do that whole thing, because I would be the same way. No alarm, just let the kids wake me up. I love that. We're gonna move on to what's for dinner. I'm heading to your beautiful kitchen.
You know, I do like this domain of the
Yes.
kitchen just because we spend a lot of time talking and cooking it together, so it works out pretty good for us. What do we have in our fridge? Oh, this is a special treat actually. It's not always in our fridge, but my mom was in town.
Oh, mom's the best.
So she made some Haitian food for us before she left, so we have some excellent leftovers, which I adore because it takes more time to make than what we would normally.
What is Haitian food? Like, what would that be?
Like
what is it?
Afro-Caribbean food, so a lot of rice, legumes, from a variety of different meats, but right now she has douillet sauce pois, which is like rice with a bean sauce, like a black bean sauce, and some chicken, which is delicious. We always have a decent stash of fruits and veggies. Stella loves, you saw that earlier, she loves her fruit and veggies. And then Luke and I always like to make, like, sometimes these are our nighttime snacks, like platters. So we always have like a variety of different deli meats and cheeses to mix in with the fruit and stuff. Yeah, that's what's
cool. So you guys, that's really cute. You guys do you just like make a little charcuterie board for the night.
We
unwind.
do. Yeah, we do.
Oh my gosh, Zach would love if I did that.
Yeah, I know.
I never do that.
We got the homemade pickles that we sometimes throw in there. Like, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I'm a fan of ice cream.
Like cream inventory.
I probably have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different options at any given point in time.
Nice. I'm trying to build up my ice cream inventory because I've been going to that late at night.
Outside's got the rest. One thing that's important in our relationship is Luke has excellent patience and self-mastery, and if there's chocolate in the cupboard, he'll have some and move on. I do not.
Skill.
Yeah, so he'll like buy, like we always have like stashes of chocolate places. And he hides them like up in higher places. He's like,
oh no,
let's see. I'm gonna put the chocolate. I bet you just push back behind. Yeah, there it is. Because
that is too funny.
He's like, oh, Stacey will eat all those.
If she sees these, she'll eat them all.
Yeah, so he'll stash them.
You can't be trusted with the chocolate.
Not with chocolate.
Okay,
nope.
Good to know though.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for showing us what's for dinner. Woohoo! Okay, moving on to the next portion. Stacey is gonna show us some of her favorite things about this home that they're in.
We are renting this space, and we love this home actually, and we love the layout and design, which you will recognize when you walk in, which is instead of a side-by-side house with like a mother-in-law suite in the back, the main part of the house is actually in the back, and so we have like a quieter entranceway.
Yes.
And solicitors don't know we're here unless they know we're here.
Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
Really nice. But we love outdoor time and outdoor space, so love the yard. Spend a lot of time sitting, chilling out here. In the summer, we'll eat most of our meals out here.
Do some grilling.
Yeah, gardening is not my forte, but we have a lot of opportunities for that, and Luke likes it, so that's one of our spaces that we love.
Cool. It's so beautiful out here. Okay, so outside, very good. Favorite spot.
It's a favorite spot.
Right where we're all set up is one of her other ones.
Yeah, Stella and I actually spend, I don't know, 70% of our time at home playing right here.
Yeah.
We like to turn the heat off at night, come down when it's like 64, 63 degrees, a little nippy, turn on the fire, we eat breakfast here.
That is
we play
too
games
cute.
here. We just hang out here. So if you're coming up to our front door, you'll see us in our domain here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cute. I love a good fireplace too.
So I would say the last place is definitely. Now, I didn't know I was a tub person until we had a tub. And I love tub time. I say we'll because Luke and I both have learned to love tub time.
Yes.
We'll sit here, we've got the sunlight coming through.
It's so great in
So
here.
quiet
And I
in
love the
space.
color. Did you guys do this color?
No, this was already pre-decided and we were like, okay, we're totally fine with it. So we leave
It's like
it.
soothing. I love dark colors.
Yeah, especially in the evening, you get some mood lighting going with the overhead light over here. Tub time
Yes.
is another one of
Tub
my favorites.
time. We've named it. Do you have like a philosophy for, like, because your decorating is so cute too. Do you have something you go off of, or do you just wing it? How do you like create this home for your family?
So we're definitely still in the stage of winging it, which is still fun, meaning things that we've carried from our lives separate, Luke and I together, brought together into this household, and then slowly just adding pieces that we like together over time, and then eliminating other stuff. So not really a philosophy, other than if it brings us joy, it stays. If it doesn't bring us joy, it's out.
Cool. I love that. I need to adopt that more. We're just about ready to go like clean sweep our whole house, get some spring cleaning done. But I definitely am feeling it in your home. Like, it's not cluttered. It's just nice, and it's awesome. So good job.
We'll take it for now.
Not that you need my approval, but it looks beautiful. All right. We've got Brady back with us. Let's see if he goes to sleep. Tell us a little bit about how you balance your life as a new mom and working. Like, being a full-time physician has to be so just like overwhelming sometimes, and then having a kid too and a husband. So how do you balance your mom life with your work life?
So I think I try to think about a couple of different things. One, which is, what are the things that are most essential? Hang on to those. And the second is, what is an important thing for me to accomplish to help me grow, my husband grow, or my daughter grow? And then the third would be, what are we doing, or what's important to do to bring joy? And so I kind of have to work through those, because sometimes what I'm doing with work is essential. Like, it might even be life or death for someone, and so I have to prioritize that. And I try to use language with Stella that helps her recognize that. So she's really good at saying things like, bye mom, mom goes to work, mom takes care of sick kids.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's important to me, that she gets, okay, like, I'm spending time away from you, but I'm also doing it for hopefully a good reason. So that's one important thing. The other thing is, I've had some pretty excellent mentors that are women that have families, and have shown me the value of finding the value of just prioritizing your family. Without them, it would be tricky. There's definitely been stages in my training where I'm just surrounded by all men who are wonderful men, but just don't carry the same opportunities, but also the same expectations as me. Things like breastfeeding and nursing are things that they don't have to consider throughout their workday. And so having to figure out ways to prioritize that. I've been really fortunate to have good mentors that have helped me find my voice in that way. And I hope to continue to be that voice for other women, especially that are physicians that have a lot of demands on their time. So I think about those three things primarily. Like, what are the essential things? What are things that will help me grow, help my husband grow, help my daughter grow? And then what are the things that bring joy?
I love that. Thanks so much. The mentor thing has to be such a good tip, because even, I mean, whether you're a physician or not, or even a working mom or not, I feel like if you can have someone in your life who's gone before you and has just experience and can, like, you know, teach you in a way that works for you, it's so effective and so helpful. No matter, like, mom, dad, working, not working, like, having a mentor is awesome.
It is incredible.
In fact, I need one.
Find yourself a mentor.
Talk to me about how you and Luke balance, because he works full-time too. He's got his own company, so he's like, and does he like go off to an office? He's not like stay at home working from home?
Correct, yeah. He's in an office in Linwood, so it's,
Yeah, so he's out and you're out and you guys are trying to balance it. How do you guys balance like homemaking and housekeeping stuff? Do you guys split it, or does he feel like it falls mostly to you still?
Luke has done a tremendous job, really, I think, finding a place for balance. And I say Luke has, because I don't feel like I have to push him to help around the household, which has been a really great tool. And I think part of that
steps up too.
Yeah, part of that came from just probably a majority of our marriage. I was the one that was out of the house for so much of the time, and this is primarily before Stella was born. And so he is on it. Like, he just gets things done. So we don't really have a specific motto that we say, like, here's the list of your things and here's the list of my things. It's like, here are the things that have to get done in our lives. And if you're available to do them, you do them. And if I'm available to do them, then I do them. Yeah. And yes, we certainly have moments where we're like, what is the deal?
Like, well, this didn't get done. We both just ditched it.
But the other part about, like, so that's like managing the household, but managing like our marriage and our life and our goals. Luke is forward thinking and I'm in the here and now. Okay. So that works out in so many different ways. Like if we're going on a vacation, Luke is out there planning the adventures about what we're going to do on the vacation, and I'm packing the list, or like taking care of packing, making sure that we have everything lined up for childcare, transitions, or all those types of things. Anything that's like the here and now, I manage, and then anything that's like foresight and vision is kind of his domain.
So you guys have figured out your ebb and flow and your teamwork situation where someone handles this and someone handles that. That's so great. I love that. So yeah, because I just feel like some women make the argument like, even though we're both full-time, I'm always the one who still has to take care of it all. And so what I feel like you're saying is you communicate. You communicate, and sometimes you don't even have to because you know each other so well and you've figured out that flow. But would you say to someone who maybe feels that way to just talk about it, to say it out loud and figure it out together?
I would say talk about it is critical, but then also like make sure that part of your conversation is what your expectations are. Because if someone's expectation is that the house looks one way and the other person's expectation is that the house looks a different way, you may be both working towards your goals independently and not quite realizing why you're not on the same page. So there are definitely things that I'm like, I would love this to be done all the time. And there are other things where he's like, I would love this to be done all the time. And when we talk about that, then it gets done because we recognize that's the other person's expectation.
Yeah, and I think something women get wrong a lot is like, you just have to say it out loud, these expectations. Like, don't just pretend that they read your mind, because they really don't. I have so many questions. Okay, so since you are a pediatric physician, is that what it's called? Yeah. I don't know words. How has that affected your motherhood? Like, just knowing all the things that people, I feel like as a mom, questions comes up about like health and things that I just don't know anything. So do you feel like that's a comfort to you? I don't know. How does it affect your motherhood?
You know, it's interesting because I thought that it might make me more anxious. I've seen a lot of tough things in my role, and I've seen families have to grapple with difficult situations. And I thought that would make me like really
hovery.
Yeah, but I'm just super grateful for the gift of motherhood. It didn't come super easy for us, and we hope to continue to be able to expand our family. And so I think that I'm grateful that I have some background knowledge of like, oh, Stella's totally fine with that, or she's meeting these milestones, or this is a great way to deal with the way her behavior is right now. But I'm not Stella's pediatrician.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's good for her, our marriage, and for me to not be her pediatrician.
That's awesome. That's really interesting. So I guess that's probably good to compartmentalize those roles too, because you take her to her doctor's appointments and they do the tests and they do the shots and they do all the things.
Yeah, it's nice for me to not have to rely so much on whether or not I'm doing the right things. Obviously it influences when I take her and what I take her for and those types of things. But I think we make it a priority to find a pediatrician that really connects well with Luke, because he has my influence all the time. And what he probably and has voiced that he really needs is sometimes if he's nervous, he just needs to have an opportunity to have his perspective heard. So when we search for a pediatrician, it's not so much who I really connect with, it's like who does Luke really connect with.
That's awesome. That seems like a really, you guys got it down. You guys are good.
That's not, I mean, you say we got it down, but remember, like, you guys have been married so much longer than we have, and we constantly like, wow, like, how do we still not know this about each other?
This was like my next question though, because when did you guys get married?
5 years ago.
Okay, and do you mind me asking like how old you guys are?
Yeah, no, Luke is 36 and I'm 30.
Okay, oh, you're 30. Oh, I didn't know you were my age. I'm 32. Wait, I mean, 30 as well.
Tell me how old you thought I was. I'm so excited.
Well, I just knew that Luke was older, so I thought you were just more that age.
Yes.
But and you're just like so mature, and you like are a freaking doctor, and so it's like, oh, she must be older than me. So
I'll take the compliment because I get the other end of the
now I feel like
often.
I should be accomplishing more. No, this is good though, because it's like, same, we're both 30 and I have 4 kids and you're a legit doctor and you have a whole family, and so it's like, it's interesting just how roads take you to different places.
Totally different places. And the thing is, there's steps along the road that you can predict, that you can control. And then there are some that you cannot predict and that you cannot control. And would Luke and I have hoped to have met each other earlier on in our lives? Absolutely. Like I love spending time with him. I would have loved for him to be my man much earlier. But at the same time, we needed to meet at the time that we did to be open to building a relationship together.
You were saying earlier that it was a long road to becoming a mother. Do you want to talk a little bit about that or your experience with that?
So I respect the fact that so many women have obstacles and barriers that are greater than mine. And I think what was complex for us is that we decided we wanted to have Stella during residency. So that's like a critical time to coordinate and trying to consider how to be respectful of what our family's needs might be, but also being respectful of what my colleagues' needs would become based on that choice. It took us about a year to conceive, which is within the range of normal, but at the same time, as you're going through that experience, you're like, oh, this is like stressful because now we're going into different rotations that I wasn't anticipating, or we're gonna have a baby, and so that was part of it. And then since Stella, we've had one miscarriage and are like continuing to try. So
that's the worst.
It's tough, but it's also, I think, one of the gifts of my experience in medicine is that I have the gift of perspective, and so I can couch my own personal experience into the perspective of other women who have been really humble and open and vulnerable with me, and seeing the growth that they have as they've navigated and transitioned. That I think has made it an easier transition for me so far than I might have otherwise had. Yeah,
that's awesome. That sounds hard still, but that's such a blessing that you had those experiences too. So there's two more things that I like to talk about on this show. One of them is, as far as motherhood goes, what are you killing it at, and what is killing you? What types of things do you have it and you love it and it's easy for you, and what types of things is just like you'd rather not deal with ever, ever, ever?
Fair. Stella, we take Stella everywhere. We take her on so many outdoor adventures. We take her snowshoeing, we take her hiking, we take her traveling, we take her camping. We take her kayaking. She just is really good, I think, at this stage of just whatever's on the horizon is she's up for it. And so I would say we're killing it at that. And I would say we, because it's still a tag team job, but I still think that that's a big thing. Well, I would say that so much of my life to this point has been centered around being actively engaged in learning all the time. I kind of miss that commitment to daily cultivating learning, and so I'm building that into my life more often, and finding more creative ways to do that. A lot of it is now from like an audio perspective and doing podcasts and books and lecture series and those types of things, but that's something that it's not really killing me, but I miss that opportunity to always be learning, and so I still am, but just not the volume that I used to be. So it's a big transition.
That's a good one. Sorry, Brady is crazy right now.
Like, he's gonna be like, oh, the fire.
I don't know. I said that there was 2 more questions and I keep asking more questions. The last thing is, with your experience in life and as a mother and as a wife, what kind of advice would you give either women who are in your situation, maybe they want to go to med school, or they want to have both lives, or just young moms in general? Do you have anything that sticks out that you would love to say to those women, advice or words of wisdom?
Think about what brings you joy and what brings joy to the people around you, I think is an important step. So I don't know if I got married sooner, whether that would necessarily have changed my career path, because that was something that I felt inspired to do and encouraged to do and driven by and brings me joy in my life. And so if you have that thing, whether it's a career or a hobby or a passion or a way that you contribute to your community, if that brings you joy, then acknowledge that brings you joy, and then develop the skills to share that in a more fluid way, but then also open up the door and space for what opportunities are out there for your significant other or your spouse. So for me, part of the reason that we're living in Seattle is because this was a really important step for my husband's next career, important next step in my husband's career. So having that conversation and recognizing that together, especially if both of you are going to be in the work field, then you're going to have to kind of ebb and flow at different times. But if you hang on to like, okay, what is bringing me joy, it's likely to be doing something that's putting good out into the world, likely building the relationships that are important to you, And then I think it's easier to let the other stuff just like fall by the wayside.
I love that. Thank you so much for letting me come talk to you, because I have gleaned so much knowledge, and I say this every time, but I am so grateful for the opportunity I have, or that I've made for myself, I guess, to come do these things, because I'm learning so much from these moms that I'm interviewing. I hope you guys are too, because just everyone's life is so different, and there's so many different ways to do motherhood, and this one especially is just very different from all the other interviews that I've done, just keep being a full-time working mom. So thank you so much, and we finally found Brady's happy place here by the fire. Thank you so much, and I'm gonna hug you.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, thanks for watching, you guys. We will catch you next time on This Mom Life. Make sure you do the internet things. Like us, give us a thumbs up on this video, share us on Instagram, and tell all your friends about this show, because I think it would be super helpful for all of your mom friends out there. And we'll see you next time. Bye!